Hello guys, it's your boy a.dTHEweeb back with another video. Now today's video of the wife Naoto had burnt immortality part 2. So yeah, anyways, I know it's been a while since I've done this what if slash series, but yeah, I'm back with it. So hope you guys enjoy it like you were enjoying it before, and I'm totally like for the next part. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of it so far, and if you want part 3, again get to the likes. And yeah, for further ado, let's just get the real story. Before we start, I just want to say what's it called, I'll be focusing on this series, so I won't really be doing other series until I'm done with this one. So yeah, anyways, also sorry for any background noise, just saying in advance because there might be some. But yeah, anyways, we saw this with Naoto looking at the army that had the audacity of kidnapping his loved one, as he had his weapon in his hand, which is basically that thing on Bond's neck. He had his weapon in his hand, as he would take out his red cloak with the other one, as he would throw it in the air, as then he would start to rush at the army, as they would start to do the same, as he would start to kill a massive amount of ninjas, as they would oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, he would start to kill a massive amount of ninjas, as he would eventually mess up, as he got his head cut clean off, as his head and body would fall to the ground, seemingly dead basically, as the ninja would start to cheer, as the clan heads would walk up to his body, as they would agree to split his body, like his blood and shit, with 25% each, as they would hear laughter, as they would look back to see Nyako laughing, as the ninjas would think that his that basically bonds not just Naoto's death basically broke her mind mentally, as she would basically say, just hurry up and get the lazy ass up and come free me while you at it, as Naoto would sigh, as you're such a pain, you know that, as smoke would start to come from his wounds, as they would basically completely like freaking cover again, like basically here, as then he would basically get up, as then he would raise his hand and crack his knuckles, as he would say snatch, as suddenly the hearts of all the clan heads the hearts of all the clan heads basically came flying out their bodies, out the chest and shit, as then they would explode, as Naruto would smirk, as the body of the clan heads would fall on the ground lifeless, as then he would say physical hunt, as his body would start getting bigger and bigger, as his muscle would basically seem to become 2 times bigger, as he would start to laugh, as all the ninjas would start to fall to their knees, as Naruto would walk up to Nyako, as he would stop in front of her, as he would say, what's with that look, as you look like what's with that look, as you let me get captured, as she pouted, as Naruto would basically say, yeah, sorry about that, as she would smirk and say, you have to make up to me later, as Naruto would go into a thinking position, as he would say, well, anyways, as she would say, fine, you don't have to make it up to me, as Naruto would move his hand, as he would basically use snatch on the ceiling tags and stuff to basically destroy them, as yeah, as when she was free, Naruto immediately reject what the hell. What? Oh. Anyways, as Naruto would basically, as after he freed Nyako, he would basically feel pain shooting from his body, as he looked down to see his stomach was completely caved in from a punch from Nyako, as what's it called? he was seen flying away as he crashed into a wall, breaking it, kept on going as eventually he would stop as he would get up, pulling out a giant metal spike like, that basically pierced through his skin as he was burning. As a ninja managed to use a fireball jutsu on him as it melted off his skin. As he would see his skull, as then it would just get covered up by new skin in flesh and stuff. As then Naoto's weapon started to glow as he did a 360 swing as all of the ninjas would fall dead. Their bodies were cut in half as Naoto and Nyako would walk away from basically the area. From that day on, Naoto was known as Naoto the Undead / Bond the Undead, as Nyako was also known as the Goddess of Death and Beauty, as they were basically feared all around the world for destroying 4 of the greatest clans at the time, but they weren't really named yet. So yeah, they were kids. What the hell? They would tell the kids how. Parents would tell the kids how basically what's it called, how they would come for them if they did anything bad, like if they didn't eat or something like that. Basically what's it called, yeah, they would basically tell stories about them and stuff. So yeah, so that they basically never like try and do something stupid basically. Anyways, as the years went by, as the kids became adult and realized that they just were a legend, no proof of them being real, as they would realize that it was all to make them basically good and stuff, like, you know. So they would basically do the same as their own parents did to them, as that would continue for many generations. Meanwhile, as Naoto and Nyako would basically have settled down in a cave, my bad, basically in a big cave, as they were basically all like, it's kind of like a giant cave where all the terror beasts could enter. So yeah, they basically become like their homes. They will come back here every time, at least once a month, as Naoto and Nyako just stayed there almost permanently, as the days would become weeks, as weeks would become months, and months would become years. Over the years, Naoto, started to appear here and there, getting the nickname the Bond the Fox in the Greed / Naoto the Fox in the Greed. So yeah, and over the years, the world would become freaking different basically, like it would get charcoal and everything like that. So yeah, there will be moments of war and peace and stuff. The cycle of hatred and everything would build itself, as Naruto would then decide that he had enough, as him and Nyako would basically leave the cave for a very long time, as they would basically look around the world to basically check up on people and stuff, as they would find out that they were currently in the first Shinobi War, as the world they would go around killing people like Gato and stuff, those people that like do food shit like that. So yeah, as they did that like for a couple thousand of them, in a way or shape or form, they would basically go and visit different towns and stuff like that, and basically get rid of the bad guys, alright? As in this one, Uzumakis are not from the Senjus, but actually from Nyako and Naoto, as Nyako had gotten busy over the years, if you know what I mean. They raised them and they eventually left and ended up getting married and getting a big family, and eventually, create a whole clan, which specialize in their vast chakra reserve and their really strong life force and advanced healing and mastering Fuinjutsu / sealing art, also known as, and there was basically the special bloodline of the Uzumaki, like the chain. But yeah, they also had the Kiki Genkai of the Uzumaki, which was the chakra chain, which made it a very powerful clan. But it was not the only Kiki Genkai they had. They also had the Kiki Genkai, which allowed them to basically be good sensors and also make it so very few of them had this one in particular, where if you bite somebody that is Uzumaki, which is very rare, you would heal from it by sucking some of their own chakra and life force. So yeah, this made the clan really powerful amongst the elemental nation, if not the most powerful one. But it had some rivals as well, but not many. And out of the few of the clan's rival, only two could actually cause them a threat to them, as Nyako would have dragged Naoto on a date, and the two clans are obviously the Uchihas and Senjus. So yeah, Nyako would drag Naoto on a date, as they were basically sitting by the side of a river, as they would be making out until they saw two guys, well, two kids skipping stones, as they would break the kiss and look at them, as the boys would talk as good friends about how they want to bring peace to the land, until the boy with long spiky black hair would have basically tell the spiky brown, no, not spiky, silky brown hair kid pointing at Naoto that there's people here. As Nyako, as they would basically both pull out kunai, getting into the defensive position, as they would scream saying, "Stay away from us. I won't let you kill us. We won't let you kill us," basically. As Naruto would just basically shrug them off, as he would basically just start taking a nap. Not start taking a nap. Start to make up with Falco once again, my bad. Completely ignoring the kids, as they would look in shock and a little bit of anger, as the two people are ignoring them, as the kids would leave, as they would come back the next day, and the same thing would happen, except that the two people were just playing around, as they would basically leave and come back to see a couple of days later to see them having a picnic, as they would leave and come back to see them just laying down sleeping, as Madara would eventually get fed up with this and basically go to the other side of the river, as he would say, "Hey," managing to wake up the girl, as the kid with long spiky black hair had a kunai at her neck, as you basically say, don't move." What the hell? What the fuck? My bad. Anyways, basically, Madara would say, "Don't move, or we will not hurt you and your boyfriend or husband, whatever he is for you. If you answer a question," as she would basically say, "Well, he is my husband," flexing her ring with basically it was like a ring made of kind of like gold, but like it was kind of darker, and it was like shaped like a small fox with 9 tails. As the other kids would basically look at it, the kids would look at it in amazement. But as for your question, it depends on what they are, and you really didn't need freaking hell, and you really didn't need this kunai, as we all freaking hell. And you really didn't need this kunai, as we aren't really trying to hide anything. As then she put a finger on the tip of the kunai, as it would suddenly crack into hundreds of pieces, shocking the kids, as then Nyako would say, "So, what do you want?" As the kid with black hair would take a step back, as then the other one would say, "So, what do you... Oh my gosh. So, what are you and your husband doing here?" As she would say, isn't it obvious we're having a picnic? As the black-haired kid would say, that's not what we meant. As he would basically talking about why you were here every day, and you do know that this is a battleground, not a place for a picnic for civilians like yourself. As Nyako would say, well, we're not normal civilian. As for why here, it's because the river is peaceful and calming. So we came here, and we have you two ninjas to protect us, right? Or are you saying you're not strong enough to protect us? With a smirk on her face, as the kid would blush, as they would basically say, no, it's not, but they were interrupted as Naoto sighed rather loudly, as Nyako would say, stop that, Naoto, but Naoto would open a single eye and say, go away, looking at the kids, as Nyako would basically look at Naoto, as she would say, no, they're staying, as Naoto would say, come on, don't be like that, as Naoto would say, I'm sleepy, as they would freaking hell, they're being too loud, as Nyako would say, well, maybe it's a sign that to get your lazy ass up for once, as Naoto would say, well, it's the same thing every day, why would I even bother? As Naoto then freaking hell, as Naoto then was punched by, what the hell, yeah, as Nyako was punched in the stomach by Nyako, as she wasn't trying to do this, but she accidentally put chakra in her hand, basically. Like, you know how Tsunade does it, as it will actually burst through his stomach, basically making the kids look horrified as they rush to the man, as the one like basically Hashirama who basically took out bandages as that he had, as the other kid slash Madara tried to get the girl away from him, as Naoto was still flying into a piece of rubble, as before the kids got to Naoto, the rubble was still flying off of him, as Naoto was just standing there with a giant hole to his chest, as he would say, what was that for? Nyako would, as Nyako would say, for being basically a D, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let the kids be, as then the kids will basically look in wide eyes, like the eyes will go wide open, almost popping out of the skull, as they'll basically watch as the wound in the man's chest just heal and vanish, as he looked fine, as both of them would pass out from basically shock. We skip a week later, the kids now know as Madara and Hashirama will basically meet and talk with Naoto and Nyako pretty much daily, as Madara and Hashirama got along because they would always be basically playing how to prank Nyako and Madara, as basically freaking hell, Hashirama and Naoto got along because they're always planning how to prank on Nyako and Madara, as they always got as Madara got along with Nyako as well, you know, then basically everybody got along and whatnot, as the kids see her as Nyako more as an older sister, but didn't call her that, as they start to train a little with them. Well, more like Naoto would beat them up and tell them to what they did wrong and what they should have done, as they would be that would be happening a week until they heard a bang, like a basically a explosion or something. They look up to see the one-tailed Shikaku as it was coming towards them, as Madara and Hashirama tried telling Naoto and Nyako that they should go, but they were just ignored by them, as the one-tail slowly made its way towards them. As when he arrived, Nyako and Naoto would start to fly up, shocking the kids as they would stop in front of the tail beast's eye. Then Nyako would say, so Shikaku, how has it been? He would say, it's been pretty good. I've been staying in the desert, but it's getting lonely. seeing as you guys or any other tail beasts aren't staying there, so I came here since you guys were the closest one to me. As what about you guys? As Nyako would say, well, we have just been keeping each other company and training those kids, putting out the two terrified kids. As we skip a couple hours later, my bad, a couple hours later, as Naoto and Nyako talked to Shikaku, as they felt bad for leaving him and the others for so long. But they heard from Kurama that the others and himself were back home except for Shikaku. As he would explain. Yeah. Anyways, so Naoto and Yako would explain to Shukaku that the other tail beasts are at the cave. As Shukaku would nod, as then he would say, "Speaking of Kurama, could you summon him?" As Naoto would nod, as he would bit his thumb, as he would simply slam his hand on the ground, since he doesn't need to do hand sign. As then a giant puff of smoke would appear, as then the smoke would basically get pushed away, revealing the Nine Tails in all of his glory. As he would say hello, as in what do you want, you stupid raccoon. As Shikaku would basically want to fight, say I want to fight you, you stupid fox, and prove that I'm the strongest tail beast. But guys, this is much I'm going off. If you guys liked it and enjoyed, give this video a 30 like for next part. And yeah, let me know actually guys start this part, and if you're excited for the fight versus Shikaku and the Nine Tails. But yeah, anyways, let me know who you guys think is gonna win. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.